All set? Hey, welcome to Oh Bless. Let's see, I think it's 1,552,000, the show number. We're flying. We are going faster than speed, just like ONPASSIVE. We are in the process of launching ONPASSIVE. So we are talking about Oh Bless brainstorming. I've had quite a few countries on here, quite a few people. I'm looking for a lot more. I told you that everyone gets a voice on this show, no matter what. I don't care how crazy your Oh Bless project is. I want to hear about it. So tonight, without further ado, I have a beautiful young lady named Janice Brown. She's going to be talking about something pretty cool. I'm going to let her explain it to you. It's something new, actually. Very interesting. So please give her your full attention. And then once her presentation is done, we'll go into the Q&A and discussion and see if we can assist her or just do whatever we can for Oh Bless. That's what it's about, guys. So Janice Brown, please unmute yourself. Do you need to share a screen or anything, Janice?
No, not at this time.
Then it's all yours. Janice, tell us where you're from and go from there.
Well, my name is Janice Brown, and well, I'm originally from Jamaica, but I live here in the US, in Westchester County. Well, thank you, Chris, for having me. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm definitely camera shy and wasn't expecting to give a presentation, but here I am. So today, I'm going to follow through with your theme.
Wrong. No, I can't. I got.
Go ahead,
your
Janice.
theme, Chris,
Go
your
ahead,
topic. Yeah. So your topic has been back to the basic. So I want to follow through with that because, my topic is going to be about babies. I feel that babies are the future, and I want to focus on how to give them a good start in life so we can all have a better future, for generations to come. So one of my goals with Oh Bless is to specialize in adopting babies who are orphans, those left in the hospitals and, safe homes, safe havens, or safe surrender provision locations of parents who are unwilling or unable to care for them for whatever reason, but they want the best for them. So I'll start with some data. Through my research, it shows that an estimated 153 million children worldwide are orphans. And just in the US alone, we have 22,000 babies that are left in the hospital each year. And 75% of those have been tested or have been exposed to drugs. But this discussion is not about, of course, the negative things that are happening to babies. I want to talk about the positive things we can all do and that I am planning to do for them. And this is where Oh Bless comes in. That's going to help me a lot with this project. So my first step is to build a community for all my babies. I am still doing research, so I'm not sure how many I could adapt at one given time, but so I'll start off with a community, and not just a ordinary community. It will be totally sustainable and off-grid, with playgrounds, a complete community. I think the only thing won't be there would be a hospital, but who knows? And of course, my second step now would be to establish inside connections with, these different places and the hospitals, so that when I'm adopting them, the less processing, the better. of course, I still have a lot more research to do, legalities, limits on how many I can adopt. I think I just said that, and so on. So my baby's home will, of course, not be labeled an orphanage or anything with that type of name. So I'm working on having a good name for the community, which would be their home. And again, remembering it's a completely sustainable off-grid community. So when I have successfully built that and it's running well, my next goal is to duplicate this worldwide. And I feel that if we have a lot of us who are of like-minded to do that, then we can change the future of humanity as it is today. If we have more Ash-like people, you know, looking out for the babies, giving them that start, that security, that love, and the health, plus with Academy being the mastermind school for them all. I mean, the sky's the limit, you know, based on how I'm looking at it. So if we give them a good start, back to the basic, as Chris always say, and they grow up, and, you know, we change what's going on today. Today we have a lot, well, homelessness, which we talk about a lot. You know, these things can be something of the past. But if we start from the infant stage and training them, teaching them, giving them that security, care, love, then, you know, a lot of these things we won't have. So I want to start at the basic, the babies. One of my greatest passion, of course, seniors too. So that's all I have to say for today. So I'm open to suggestions. For example, people who are in the medical field, that like neonatal, you know, that I can get that one-on-one connection, and just other points. For example, those who are foster parents can give me some insight as to, you know, the operations and how they get these babies, you know. So I have a lot more to learn, but that's my goal for, one of my goal for Oh Bless.
Very good, Janice. I have a couple questions for you. Number one, I commend you. Have you ever adopted a child, ever?
No, I have 3 grown children though, so I do know a lot about babies.
Oh, no, I
And
just
I've been
wanted to know.
babysitting from I was a younger
I
person.
have 4 or 5 people in my family that have been adopted, all turned out to be rock stars, literally. Love the concept, loved it, love it. Like I said, you do have a lot to learn, but the thing is you took the first step. You're taking the first step to doing this. It's a beautiful thing because a lot of people either don't have the patience or they don't have the time. You know, you're going to have both, I believe, when ONPASSIVE launches. And I love it. I love it. Does anyone have any kind of questions or some advice that they can give Janice? Raise your hand. You better, Dr. Benny, I can see your smoking ears. You're thinking, what you got over there, Maria? Marie, you got something?
Yeah,
Hi,
Marie.
Janice. My
Yes.
name is Marie Pendy. I'm glad to see you, and I'm glad to hear about your future endeavors. You know, our society depends on educating from when we are young, when we are children. You know, like Head Starts, the programs, they are laid there as a foundation for our children to grow, to take advantage of, parents to take advantage of those programs and lay out the foundation for future generations. I remember working at one of the hospitals, the NICU. You had like children who were born premature, and they are in the NICU for months and months. The children, some of them are just like a thumb, you know, the size of the child is a thumb. And we do have children who have grown out of that NICU environment, and they are now in a regular maternity ward, and then toddlers. I remember taking care of a little boy who was a twin. The twin thrived very well, blossomly, and they took him home, and the other twin could not thrive. So he was termed failure to thrive. And when I took care of him, all he needed was that tender, loving care, you know, nurturing, touching, feeding, holding, you know, singing, shaking, and you see him thrive. So my question to you is, when you get to this situation where you're planning to take these kids home, do you have plans for who will be assisting you in your environment to help these children thrive?
Yes, I will have staff, around the clock staff. I'm thinking of 3 different shifts as well. And yeah, lots of care. I do agree with that, because as a baby nurse myself, it's very important that they get the love, the security, the attention they need in order to really thrive. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Good,
welcome.
good question,
Thank
Marie.
you. Yeah.
Very good point to bring up. Thank you very much, Marie. Marcianne, my beautiful Marcianne, please unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris. I'm sorry, I can't open my video.
That's
but,
okay.
thank you. At least my picture is there. You guys can see me. So thank you, Janice. That was a great presentation. I have a question for you. So are you going to adopt all those children to be yours, or do you have to have these children and ask other people to come and take them from you? That's my first question.
No, I want them, it's going to be their home, you know. So yes, I'll be mommy.
So it means you
for
are
all
going
those
to
children.
adopt them and be their parent for all
Right.
those kids.
Right.
So now, do
I'm
you
trying
make the
to-
research for how many kids are you allowed to adopt? Because those, we are talking about hundreds and thousands of the kids.
Right. That's why I do need to do more research, because one of my thoughts is 10, to start with 10 or 20. And the age would be, of course, newborns to, I would say about 9 months old. And that would be the first set. So I need to find out legally how many I could adopt based on the setting I will have for them. It will be a community. And of course, of staff and things like that. Because I believe in the ultimate care. And once I have I'm in the financial position to do so, I definitely want to do that. Yeah, so, and that's why I would also love to hear about others who are like-minded, want to do the same thing, because we're talking about just the US alone with 22,000 that are left in the hospital, and that's just the hospital each year.
Yeah.
So we need lots of hands, you know, as Angie was saying today, one person can't change the world, you know. So if we have a group, we could do a lot. And right now we have over 1 million, so we're good.
So if you get it if my understanding is this is something you want to put up, you have not adopted any
How are
child
you,
on
how are you
your own
everybody?
before, and
My name is
the
Moash.
second,
Go ahead, Marcian.
okay, thank you. So are you trying to ask people that they can come together with you to go with this project, or you want to have this project and see how people can come along and help you?
Yes, the latter. That's a very good question. No, yes, I'm planning to do this project, and of course, I will take all the help I can get, but I will also be helping others who also wants to do the same project. You know, it can be a group, a team effort type of thing. And the question about adoption, I've not personally gone through that. I've never had to adopt a child. So I have a lot to learn. So this is going to be a learning process. But taking care of them and raising them will not be an issue for me.
Yeah, anyway, it's going to be possible with ONPASSIVE. There's nothing impossible. We just have to think and we can do it. So thank you.
Yeah.
Those were my questions.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good questions, Marcian. Yeah, they're bringing up some really good points, Janice, but you know what? I can hear it in your voice. I definitely can feel it in your heart that you really, truly care about children and they are our future. And believe it or not, the program that you're designing is going to reduce kids on the street and homelessness and probably help out a lot of parents who aren't really ready for children yet. Adoption is probably a very hard decision for a lot of people. Maybe some of you have given someone for adoption. It's not an easy choice, but I believe it's a beautiful choice to give another family a child that maybe can't have kids. So Janice, I'm loving this. Dr. Benny, please unmute yourself. The Queen.
Thank you so much, Brother Chris.
Dr. Benny.
Hi. Greetings to each and everyone. Is everyone happy? I mean, because this is a blessing platform. Queen Janice.
Yes.
I am so proud of you. Thank you so much for this. Now, it looks like you will be the only mom. Can you handle it?
Yes. With lots of help, yes. We take a village to, you know, raise each child.
Now,
Yes, I can. Mhm.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Sorry.
Great. You stated that you will have staff round the clock, 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. Stated by Sister Marie Pendy. So based upon the staffs, are you going to train them in order for them to handle these children?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Now,
Well rated too.
Thank you so much. And when it comes to the kids, how many kids are you going to assign to a staff?
Well, my thought is no more than 2 per staff. Because that wouldn't, to me, they wouldn't be getting as much attention and the care that I would like for them to get. So just the most is 2.
Excellent. Thank you so much. But when it comes to these kids, I'm just trying to find like the age limit that you will take.
To newborn to 9 months.
Wow. Oh, okay. Anyway, so long as the staff will be well trained in order to take good care of these kids, because that is very, very important.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. We love you so much.
Thank you. Same here.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Hey, I wanna address one thing real quick here. Janice, number one, I commend you 100%. Now, let's try to do lists. Janice has told us a few times now that she has a lot to learn. Some of these questions are kind of, she doesn't know already, but it's good that you ask her those. So let's try to see if we can bring some things out that will help Janice in this program she wants to do. Because I know I see one male hand up, which is Michael, and I see a lot of ladies. So I know that the birth of all babies are from ladies, right? And some of you guys are thinking right now, Janice is crazy or what? No, Janice is one of those people who love children. I've got 3 very good friends who are mothers, and that if they could be mothers and keep having babies, they would. They just love that feeling. So let's boost this lady up, because you know what? Someday I'm hoping that there's people like Janice that take care of old people, and I think that she said that. Senior citizens, it's the same care, it's the same love, it's the same compassion. Me that tried helping my mother for the last 2 years of her life, it was not easy. I'm going to tell you all that right now. Those of you that took care of a senior citizen, you know it's not easy. Taking care of a child is not that easy. But when we got a woman that's going to bop out and say, listen, I want to adopt every kid in the world. I want to raise them. I want them to call me mom. I want to get them out in the world and watch them become successful. I have nothing but praises for you. All right, now, that's all I'm saying. I'm not picking on anybody. Let's keep these questions to help her and boost her. All right, Dr. Masagio, how you doing? Unmute yourself, please.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Very happy to be here. I'll not show my camera tonight. But what a good heart, Janice. There are so many babies, as you've said, who are really exploited. Some are abandoned around the world. I'm just going to throw in my idea as a social worker. Sorry. Yeah, I worked as a social worker for some time, and I actually worked with abandoned babies. Yeah, so one of the things I would recommend for you is to look for models around the world that are now working, that do exactly what you do. For example, SOS, Save Our Souls, is more a global model. They don't really take only babies, they take children, anybody under the age of 18 who is abandoned. Now, I have been on the other side of SOS in terms of being a social worker who rescues these children and refers them to SOS. It's a hell lot of work, because really saving a human being it involves legalities, it involves assessment in communities, it involves really turning the tables and looking for opportunities in the communities to check who can take care of this baby before you can even take them to SOS. Because generally the world, or right from United Nations, they recommend for every child to have a family, to have a mother, father, to have a family. So us as social workers would assess, is there a possibility to get a family for this child? Is there a next of kin? Is there a relative? Is there anybody in the community? And that's a long process to assess that. And social workers would then compile a report, and they would take that report to court, and they would justify why that child has to be taken to SOS or to a place of safety. Let me just put it like that.
Yeah.
Some can be temporary places of safety, like normally Childline would do, which is also a growing organization around the world, would do a temporary shelter for the child while the case is being processed in court. But normally SOS does what you are dreaming to do, which is really a good heart, keeps children for a long time. So I would just say, I have been on the other side, as I'm saying, more as a social worker, and I worked in the hospitals there are a lot of these babies who are abandoned and mothers run away actually. And normally these mothers are traumatized. They also have their own issues. And sometimes you have to follow the mother to try to see, can you get your child as a social worker? You know, you start with the mother to justify why the mother is not capable of taking the child. So some of these kids can even, depending on how fast case processes are in different courts, can even take a year, can even take 2 years, and you're like, my goodness, can't you save the child? But normally that's why they have temporary shelters before they go to more permanent shelters, like I think your shelter would be like. So unfortunately, I don't have much information about how SOS got established to be able to, they are not really adopting them, but they are fostering them until they get a family. So SOS is there available to say, anybody who wants to be a family to this child. So people actually go to SOS and they also go through a long process to adopt. So I'm not sure if your home will be adopting or will be fostering like SOS, but your home is such a good heart. So I bet every country will be grumbling for you to say, yes, we want you. However, even if they want you, there are still legalities. It's just issues of security to make sure that indeed the country has thoroughly checked that there's nobody else but Jenny's home that can take this child. So I would just ask that, recommend that you talk to models like that. Thank you so much.
I thank you for that. Yes, because one of, I would like to eliminate the foster homes. You know, I believe babies go through a lot of trauma when they have to go through all those processing. Because I know we are all well aware that sometimes some of these homes, it's all about the money they can collect. It's not that much about caring for the child. So, you know, if I can eliminate that as much as possible, that'd be good. And yes, talking to like the SOS to find out how they got started and what process they go through. I could probably foster those children until I'm legally able to adopt them if that's the case. But the less hands they have to go through, to me, would be better. So,
Yeah.
You know, processing from the parent directly to me, hey, that'd be even better.
Yeah. The reason why I'm recommending models like SOS is because a person is allowed to adopt only so many babies. Right. And you are also thoroughly assessed to say why, what is your capability, and so on and so forth. So your idea for me, you know better, but your idea for me sounds like an institution. It would be counted like an institution. And normally institutions do not adopt, they foster, because then they are allowed to take as many children as they can. So adoption has got limitations in terms of number, because adoption means you are turning yourself to represent a biological parent.
Exactly.
And biological parents maybe can have 5 children at the max. I don't know, it depends on the law of each country. So you don't have to worry about it, because even if you are told not to adopt as an institution, but only to foster, you can still set up a system where you are actually parenting them like a real parent, like your good heart has. SOS tries to have, for example, an aunt and a mother in each home. They have different homes within their institution. So you may find 100 homes within that big institution in SOS. And each home has a mother and an aunt. And they have 5 kids. In some SOSs, like in developing countries, they may even have 20 kids inside that home. Yeah, but normally they try their best to have less so that the kids can have attention of the mother and the aunt. I don't know why normally it's the mother and the aunt. Maybe in some SOS there are uncles as well, but I'm not sure why they do it. I guess commonly an aunt and a mother. So I would say, let not the legal words worry you. Depending on what you are allowed, the practice is more important than the legality or the legal terms. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's some good
I want to
info.
stay away from the word institution, though. That's
Yes. I agree.
I
You got my
want
vote.
home.
You have my vote. I agree. There's so many, there's a lot of good places, what they call institutions. I've never liked that word. I mean, that's just a horrible word. So yes, home.
Yeah, I agree. Home is good.
Yeah,
Home is good.
Dr. Masagio and the rest, Dr. Penny, Dr. Marie Penny, if you guys want to contact and talk amongst yourselves about putting things together, helping out, please do in the private chat. Send each other your emails and you guys can discuss things. Pat Parent just sent me something. I think she meant to send it to Janice. Is really, really cool. And hold on, let me see if I can find it again. Of course I'm behind. I'm almost there. My eyeballs aren't as good as they. Okay. She had said, Janice, could you have a community where there are many moms or dads to adopt children and lots of staff to build your community with staff to help through instead of trying to be mom to all? Always could be called the Janice Mama House. Sorry. Oh, she's doing her oxygen right now, which really good idea. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I like to hear. If you can, Pat, I don't know if you sent that to her. I think that's what do you think of that, Janice?
Yeah, lots of moms is good. But
and dads, come on.
And dad, of course, definitely. It has to be well-rounded, and grandmas, and because one of my thoughts is also intergenerational, right? But because the staff is not just going to be young people, it's going to be a mixture, young, old, or senior, not old, male and female, because it's all about family, right? Adopting, I don't want to be foster because you can lose that child at any time. My goal is to raise them from infancy to adult. And when they become adults, they decide what they want to do. They could stay there and also help do the same thing. Of course, everyone is getting paid. Or they can go off on their own, depends on what their specialty is, what they want to do. But I want it to be a true family in the sense of family. And I don't want them to grow up with the stigma that, oh, well, I was adopted. So they kind of feel like, yeah, it's his family, but not really. I want them to feel truly like family. Like those are all my brothers and sisters, and just one big happy family. And after those get to be adult, of course, in between, of course, I will be getting more. But as I said, I have a lot more research to do because as how do you pronounce your name? Marcigo?
Yes, Masejo.
Thank you. As you just mentioned, I lost my thought now. I don't remember what I was going to say. That's okay. Yeah, but family, I want them to, I don't want them to feel like, because children today, they're from one foster home to the next, and they grew up with this insecurity, and I want to try to eliminate that as much as possible.
Yeah, maybe also just read
sorry.
How about also just reading legal documents like adoption laws in your country or home laws. Yeah, also that can help.
Yeah, so I'm going to be looking into that too, because I understand what you're saying, because that's the norm today. So if I can change some of that too, let's say I'm only allowed to have 10 babies at a given time. And maybe after they're like 2 or 5 years old, I could probably get another 10. Then I'll do that. And if I can change the law to make it 20, hey, it's a lot. It means employment for a lot of people as well. And they will also be doing what they're passionate about, which is caring for babies and raising, children. And of course, the staff would be of all different backgrounds. There will be some that would love to have children and can't, and they will be one of the staff as well. And there would be those who are experienced. And so it's going to be a mixture. I want it to be well-rounded. Yeah.
Very good. I'm loving this. I really am loving this. You got a lot of people watching you on YouTube too, Janice. And you know what? You're doing absolutely wonderful. Myself, I forget things all the time, but you're doing great. Don't be nervous. You're amongst family here and you're talking about a great thing. And wouldn't it be nice if laws were changed for the better? When laws are made, it's because something negative happened in an adoption firm where something was wrong, or one of those facilities we don't like talking about, something went wrong. But why don't they change rules for the good? Like, you have a great idea, get everyone checked out. You want to be a loving mom. You want to raise these kids on your own. Why can't the rules change for something like that? But rules are based on negativity, if you think about it. And this just popped in my head. It shouldn't be that way. Maybe rules should be based on positivity. Just don't let the negativity inside us. But you made me think about a little bit of things. All right. And this wonderful, beautiful lady who always looks beautiful, Gladys, unmute yourself, please.
Thank you so much, Brother Chris. And thank you, Janice. I'm amazed. Oh, my goodness. There are good people in the world. Thank you to my fellow ONPASSIVians. And the plan that you have, Janice, I haven't adopted a child, so I don't know the process, but I give you congratulations for having that spirit of raising children, especially children that you did not give birth to. Every child deserves to be taken care of.
I agree.
But when we think of the orphans, when a child loses one parent, it becomes very, very stressful on the remaining parents. Their life changes. But when a child loses two parents, and God forbid there's nobody in the family who can take up, or in the community, those children's lives completely get messed up. So how nice it is to have someone like you who is willing to take care of these children, to give them a chance. I haven't adopted, but I can speak because I have a close friend of mine who lived in the United States for quite a while. She was a nurse. She had a nursing agency, but she decided to relocate back to Kenya, and she opened a children's home. We call it a children's home there. And she has over 50 children that she brought into that home. And she has employees, the same way you say that you will have employees. She's taking care of these children. They have grown. They are going to school. She is paying for their school fees. She does come here annually to raise funds, to be able to educate them, to be able to pay for them. So she had to go through the government to, for the agency, to the home to be inspected, to be approved that it's a safe place for the children to be. The good thing when children are in a home, according to my experience, I have seen a situation where there was a home in Kenya and the children were very well being taken care of. And one of the people who were taking care of the children came from outside the country, from a different country, and abused these children. It was very good to see that the government stood for that and followed that person, and the person was shipped right back to Kenya to be tried there. So as Dr. Masego said, she did preempt me a few of the questions. The legalities, I'm sure when that time comes, you will understand, because this is just the initial presentation that you have done, and we are brainstorming.
Yes.
And since you have children's background in terms of taking care of not only your own babies, but you said you are a children's nurse.
Baby nurse, yeah.
Baby nurse. So all these things will come together to pieces, but it's good to find, I'm sure in your country, you will find people who have already done it there, and you will be able to understand the system in your country, how it works in terms of adopting children or having a children's home, whichever route that you pick that you feel comfortable with. The most important thing is that these children get the best care.
Yes.
Where I
Very-
found, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying, yes, that's very important.
Yes, so we are founders, we are on perseverance, and with the all blessed, we can do so much. Count me in your projects, as long as you go it the right way. When that time comes, we will exchange ideas, and if I can get someone who has done it to help you also talk to you. Which country are you based in now?
I'm in the US.
Okay, I'm also in the US. I'll be getting in touch with you so that maybe we can work together until you get the information that you need so that you can move forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sounds very good. I would welcome that. Yes.
We're getting somewhere, Janice.
Yeah.
And Gladys, you got, Dr. Masagio, Gladys, all these women, Marie, Dr. Penny, powerful ladies. They know their stuff. And I definitely want to see you guys connect. So
Yes.
and here we got the first guy. Ooh, I don't know about this, Mike. You sure about this? Be careful, Mike. This is women here now. Don't say nothing that you're going to regret. All right, Mike, go ahead. Go ahead.
No
Mike.
engineering now. No engineering.
Hello, Janice.
Did I
Good
screw
evening,
up?
founders. Good evening, all leaders. I just appreciate and I want to tell you that what you're bringing to the world is what most of us have been brainstorming to get that kind of situation that you just aired out today. So bringing it out, number one person that came out here so strong is a nurse by profession, Auntie Marie Pendy. She came out strong with her questions because she knows what she's talking about. She has gone through that journey. We also have Marcia Himabo, who is a nurse as well. I mean, all of them. Then we had Dr. Masagio and Gladys again, another nurse. Wow, good stuff here. So what I want to bring in here is a little bit different. I was thinking too sometimes of about adoption and all of that. Then I came across a document, Janice, talking about adoption in all the states in the United States. I will share that with Chris Johnson and he will definitely give it to you. He has a lot of information in there because that was something I was trying to think about some time ago. I have a document I found online, which will be very helpful to you. I will share it with Chris Johnson and he will definitely give it to you. But I just want to applaud everybody who is speaking tonight. I mean, we are in a good food. Dr. Benny also came out strong. Ladies, well, it's a ladies' day, so I'll just stay quiet. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, can you share your email address in private chat to Janice? So maybe you guys can swap emails. That way you can get it right to her because you send me something. I've got 50 million people a day sending me stuff. So I'd rather you guys connect. But you can still send it to me, Mike. If I catch it, I'll definitely send it to Janice.
Yeah,
Okay,
it will be good. It will be good for you to have it too, Chris. It's something good so that if somebody is talking about it again, you will know how to get there. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, Michael. Thank you very much for that. Okay, and now I have my beautiful sister from Australia, Narelle Warcon. Come on out, Narelle.
Hi, thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Janice, for sharing your heart. It is truly amazing when people gather together, the ideas that can come up. And you're at the beginning of a very long journey, but a very big blessing for many. So I just wrote down a couple of things. My sister here in Australia, by the way, Australia, I researched, have 19,500 homeless or abandon children from the age of 0 to 14. Now, we are a big country, we are a very rich country, and yet it still happens. You know, people abandon their children. A lot boils down to addiction, you know, where people don't know how to cope and things like that. And I think there's a lot of background that needs to be done with how do these people get to where they are, that they are abandoning their children to begin with. Now, my sister here in Australia, in the town where I live, she fosters, and she has fostered three sisters, and she has done many fostering until such time as they are either old enough, or sometimes a parent will step back up and take control back of the children. I know control's the wrong word, but at the present time, because she's starting to get older, she's doing emergency care for fostering, which means that she takes babies. Now, some of these babies are 1 day old. She has to actually go and pick them up from the hospital. You know, now in some cases, the fostering companies here send out messages to the extended family and say, hey, is there anybody who wants to step up? Because we all know that a child that stays in the family will cope so much better than those who are put into the fostering system. But they need help, you know, all the time. Fostering is not something that just anybody can do. I'm so happy for my sister that she does it. I couldn't do it, but at least I go and love on that child, which brings me to the point of love. Okay. One of the things that my sister had said to me, which really sort of stuck with me, was that you really just have to love that child. Can you imagine a baby coming in? It may have come from an addicted parent, mother in particular, and they may have some issues with withdrawal and things like that. But bringing love and making sure that that child is loved and cuddled and caressed and spoken to with love is huge, you know, just in those first few weeks. They only do it as emergency care now, so they may have a baby for a week, a month, 2 months, that sort of thing. And I think it's so important from the beginning. Fostering can create concerns, and particularly when children are come from or have bad behaviors. And a lot of fostering parents think that they can just take a child and it's all going to be lovely and they're going to be dancing through daisies and things like that. But it isn't. It is a full responsibility to be able to take on somebody else's child and love them, but also to keep them for a length of time, you know. And you talked about the elderly. Sorry, I've got so much stuff written down here, but one of the things that come to me, which I thought was really important, is you put a baby or a child in the arms of the elderly and see what happens. Those people need to know that they still have a purpose in life, the elderly. You know, they are pushed to the side. Their parents don't visit them anymore. I've seen it happen with animals when they take dogs into nursing homes and things like that. These people come alive. So if you could combine the two and be able to bring such a sense of purpose and love back to the elderly, of course it has to be supervised and there has to be correct staffing. But that's just my suggestion, that, you know, a child needs love. And so do the elderly. So put them together. Oh my gosh, it's just an instant pleasurable thing to see, because those elderly people now have a purpose to love. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Janice. I'm sorry I haven't got much more input as into helping you, but always reach out if you need anyone to talk about love.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly, because that's my thought exactly. As I said before, my passion are babies and seniors. And I do have experience in both fields. I have training and everything in those two fields.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that are mostly neglected, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't want to say this coming from a place of, I'm just going to say it anyway. Okay, but sometimes it's not the qualifications. We all talk about qualifications. We need qualifications. We're a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a counselor. You know, we've worked here, we've worked there. when you talk about love, it comes from the heart. It doesn't matter who or what paper you have. And I don't mean to degrade anybody here or bring that down, but, you know, there's so much we can do just as who we are, you know, and that love, you know, about showing, like you said, to the babies and the elderly, I think is hugely important. Doesn't matter what qualifications you have, because they're not going to care. And babies don't care who you are or what qualifications you have, as long as you have a good heart to do what you need to do for both of them, because there are people out there we know that are scrupulous, who don't want to do the right thing towards children or the elderly. You know, a lot of elder abuse and things like that happens. But I think if we can combine and bring that together, I think that's a really important thing. But yeah, love is something that just comes from the heart. And I think we can all do more every day for those that need us, you know, not just those who we want to share it with, but those who we don't know, and we can love on them a lot more. So thanks again, Janice. I appreciate you and your heart and everybody sharing.
Thank you. Intergenerational. There you go.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's true, Nora. I'm gonna just real quick, I want to touch on that. And then David, hold on a second. I got to bring Marty in because his the drugs that he's taking for his muscle relax is kicking in, and he needs to go to bed. He wants to say something. But real quick, you're right, guys. And I agree with Nora. You touched a real good point with me. Is I know people that are qualified, and I know they're crap. Sorry to say it that way. Yeah, they have everything that looks great on paper, and they're mean, miserable people. And I agree. I kind of wish people would look, even though it's hard to do it that way, qualifications don't always mean that they're perfect. Trust me on that one. All right.
Agree. Totally agree.
I think you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
Janice, right? It's Janice. I'm saying it correct now, Janice. That's very
I
pretty.
answered to it either way. I'm not.
I like Janice. I think that's a pretty name. I like the way it sounds.
Thank
All right, Marty, before the meds really kick in, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Making it sound like I'm a drug addict.
Janice, there's your first older patient right there.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, Janice. I commend you what you're doing. I love kids. As most people know, we're raising our grandchildren now. So we're family number 2. To me, they're first. Children are first. They are our future. They're treated badly, and we expect them to be great men and women, and it starts as a child. Anyway, I just want to say a story about, I don't know, 20 years ago. When my children were young, my children, they had a little boy that would come over and play with them. They're about 11 or 12, I think. And great little kid. He had problems at home or whatever. I mean, we all did. But one day, my children came home and they were crying and said that David was not in school. And they found out his grandmother said she was taking him to the store, and she was actually taking him to a home. And I said, "Oh, really?" So me and my wife went to the place he was taken, and I guess his grandmother figured we would go there because they said, "Well, you're on the list that you can't come here." Okay, I guess because we were kind to him. I don't know, but anyway, of course that wasn't good enough for me, so I went to the county and found out who's in charge of him. I don't remember what they called her, social worker or something. And I said, has anybody in his family asked him to come to their home? And no. Okay, then we want to. Well, you're not family. He's a little boy and we got a family. What else do you need? So they looked into it and said, yeah, you can. Great. So we got custody of him. He's stayed with us until he was 18 years old, or adult. There was some issues and all that, but whatever. All he needed, like everybody says here, is people to love them and respect them. But what I found is, what I'm thinking is, because you're non-passive full of, oh my gosh, 1 million people, I think power would come in numbers. I would start working on, especially through a blast with all the people, find somebody that feels the same way you do, because there's power in numbers. And sometimes in certain places, if you have the power, you have the money, you can change some of the laws and maybe work as a team, because the village can raise a village, right?
Yeah.
If we have enough people.
Yep.
And set up a system, because we always look at how things are now. Change how things are now. There's too much paperwork to take care of that little child. And I definitely don't think I want to tell you what you can and can't do, because you don't care about that. You care about helping the kids. So you can find a way, get somebody that believes like you believe, enter it as a team of people, a lot more power. You're a founder, you have that power. You have a bless, you have that power, and maybe find a way, because a lot of these are fancy words. Forget what the word is. Forget adopt, forget custody, forget, you want to take the child, you want to have a nice place to live and feel like a home.
Exactly.
Whatever name that is. Work your way around it, because I found when I pushed hard enough, they bent some rules. Because what they really wanted was that little boy to have a home. Okay?
Right.
And what we really wanted was for that little boy to have a home. So we met in the middle.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to have to call this temporary this or whatever. I don't care what you call it. His family's not coming to get him. We'll adopt. No. I mean, we'll get custody. I didn't look at, can you afford it? No, I can't afford it. I couldn't afford the kids I had now. But that's not what you look at. You look at ways to make it work. And he turned out to be a really great man. He's like 38 years old now. And he never forgot it. Because let me tell you, if you help children, they will grow up automatically, in most cases, do the same thing for somebody else. They don't forget those type of things. But great job. Don't look at all the what you can't do. What you can't do is not your business. What you want to do, you can do it. You'll find a way. But I would try to find, because it's not going to happen overnight, maybe. But with ONPASSIVE, even after it launches, you could start a group and on that, Mothers for Children or whatever. And you'll start attracting people that feel the same way you do. I'm losing my voice because I talk every day.
I know, I'm on there.
Wait a minute. And when you talk unicorn, it ruins your vocal cords. Oh, by the way, Chris, the unicorn wants to play leapfrog with you. But anyway, that's all I got. Thank you. And God bless you. It'll work out good for you.
Thank you, Marty. I agree with that, because totally 100%. And I'm hoping with ONPASSIVE, we change some of those, because, as I said before, less paperwork, less, changing of hands, and because you want them to have that good security from birth, from infancy, so they can, and yes, and they too, knowing what happened, will also want to duplicate it. So this is the start to hopefully eliminate all these abandoned, neglected babies and the abuse and all these other negative things. We want it to be something of the past. Yeah, thank you.
Very good, Marty. And I put your teddy bear in the middle drawer before you go to bed. Make sure you grab that. I know you love that teddy bear.
Excuse me, everybody. Chris, bite me.
We have a lot of fun on here. Marty, make me host before you go. Have a good night, brother. I'll see you on 360 tomorrow. Don't be late or I will fire you again. All right. Always fun when Marty comes in the house. We have fun. Dave Rosleski, I apologize. I had to let my big brother go first because if he don't go to bed at a certain time with that teddy bear, he is cranky. Can't have that. Dave, unmute yourself, brother.
Hey guys, I really love this. I just want to start off by saying that my mom's mother was adopted. So this is kind of close to my heart, you know, and I know there's a lot of misuse and abuse that goes on with these children, and they are indeed the future, you know. I love these things because my brain just goes, and right here, I'm not going to bore you with everything, but I already wrote down about a page of ideas about this stuff. You know, that Pat and I were presenting about with the villages, you know, how we had, I don't know if you were there, but we had it laid out in different circles, all for different things. And I see one of these areas being specifically for the children, you know, that way, instead of, you know, having shops and, you know, job education and things like that, you know, we can, you know, shelter these children, get them away from, you know, the evils of the world, raise up with good hearts, you know, so hopefully they can forget or at least come to terms with a lot of the abuse they've come through, you know, try to improve the world and reset their minds. You know, it takes a village, like Pat said, to raise the kids, you know, through some of these things, we're going to have food, we're going to have water, power, shelter. Okay, well, we can take all that and help support the kids, give them an infrastructure. Now they've got a safe place to be. And, you know, and we can start teaching them, you know, maybe that area you can specialize in, you know, junior education, pediatric care, you know, we can raise food specifically for kids with, you know, food allergies. Like most people weren't allergic to peanuts until 1965 when people started getting vaccinated. Okay, now everybody's got all these different allergies. We can make sure they have good, safe food that won't, you know, aggravate, you know, all of that stuff. You know, we make sure we got enough people around to give them the time, because like Marty said, kids are good. Kids are great. They're blank slates and they're empty computers. They just have to be programmed. We have to give them our time, give them our experience and our guidance for them to grow up properly. You know, and I'm thinking as far as like the elderly, that's brilliant. You know, forget all these darn therapy dogs that poop all over the place. Bring in the kids. Bring in the kids. The kids are going to revitalize and reactivate and re-energize these people. They're going to give them guidance and knowledge and work and life experiences that they're not going to be able to get anywhere. You can't buy that education in a college or a school anymore.
No.
You know, if you're looking for some help, yeah, look me up, because I'd definitely jump on this and I'd give you as much help and ideas as I can. I mean, I think this is great, and God bless you. Keep it going.
Thank you, David. Sounds good, because that's all in the plan, though, a complete, sustainable, off-grid community. So, of course, food, everything's going to be there. Everything, you know, schooling, of course, academy. I'm really looking forward to that. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Have every teacher you want there through Academy.
Yes. You know, plus, you know, for those who want to do hands-on woodwork, things like that, there will be a building there dedicated just for that. Multicolor, cultural arts, like the different arts, different cultures, everything.
You said it
Have all
right.
that.
Janice, you said it right, multicolor, because what I see you're doing is bringing the world together to bringing kids up the right way, no matter what color they are, or gender, or where they come from, their religion. I see you doing the right thing, Janice.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I'm telling you. David, thank you very much. That was excellent. Wow, look at the guys coming out. Roy Davies, come on. Come on, Roy, what you got?
Say it, say it, say it. I got to say it. How you doing, Chris? Thanks for bringing me on, brother.
Thank you.
I just want to commend Janice on what she's doing, and I feel her heart. And she's starting out with the kids at really the right age, really, from 9 months on down. So it's like planting a tree. When you plant a tree when it's small, you can shape that tree to grow any type way you want it to grow while it's young. But when it gets old, it gets very tough to try to bend that tree to have it to grow the way you want it to grow then. And saying that, the reason I commend her, my mother had 14 kids, and I'm the only kid never saw his father. So when my grandma passed away, that's who I used to live with until I got about 4 years old, and I watched her pass away. I was sitting right beside her, and that really broke my heart. But then I had to go with my mother. My mother had to go ahead and take us in because back then it's not like now. It was kind of rough, back there in the 50s and 60s, and she, like took us 3 kids, me and my brother and my sister, and she did all she could, to take care of her. She even went without food for herself to make sure that we had something to eat. So it was really, really, really tough times back then. And what you're doing is for the little babies that been corrupted by the parents with the drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. They wasn't gonna have a good life, not if the parents kept that up. So when you taking kids in like that, you got a chance of making those kids see a better future for themselves in life. That teaching them respect, showing them love, and have a heart for others. Share need with others when they see a person in need. They could be some of the important kids in our future, And
I think so.
I just wanna commend you on what you're doing, and for when all the apples start rolling around, a lot of apples ain't making me happy. It's just making me feel good because I got it and I don't have to worry about bills and so forth. But when I get the apples to satisfy my needs and fill my tank, my family, get them situated, the road that I'm heading down, you in my path. Because mothers like you, families that struggling and don't have and need, these are the type of people I'm looking for, and I'm gonna help these people try to help change their lives.
Yes.
And I always say that. And in the future, everybody will start seeing my name around. Because my name is Roy Davies. And I'm always gonna put ONPASSIVE in the front of me. If it wasn't for ONPASSIVE, probably none of this would never happen. So since it's here, so anyone that's in need, they can look out because I'm coming. And I just want to appreciate you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Roy, my man.
All right.
Thanks for your beautiful words, buddy. All right, we're back to the ladies. Tina, go ahead from Singapore. How you doing, beautiful sister?
Hi, Tina.
I'm doing well. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Janice, my name is Tina. I'm from Singapore and I am your friend. I hope that I won't break down like the last time, but I think I wouldn't, because this is such a noble thing that you are doing, you're wanting to do. For one, I'm just letting you know how Singapore situation with babies are. We just had the Prime Minister saying coming out the other day that we are so advanced in our infrastructure and the planning for the next 50 years. Would you believe it? Our government are thinking about the next 50 years. But then again, he said, with all this infrastructure, it's good, but we don't have the babies to put them into. Oh my goodness. So I am so glad that you bring this up. And it brought me back to my short student nursing experience as well. During my pediatric ward experience, I cried when I looked after a baby where the parents didn't want to continue with the treatment that the doctors were so-called prescribed, and the baby died. And going through that was 17 years old. It's traumatic for me. There again, when I was an adult, I just want to let all of you know that my beautiful children that I have now, the adult children I have now, are my 7th and 8th pregnancies. I have very bad gynecology history. And one of them was having to make this difficult decision of terminating my pregnancy. A child, to me, having gone through that, I know that a birth is a blessing to a family. It is God, a creation, and it is meant to be or not meant to be by Him. And the thing is, what you have done, what you are thinking of doing is so noble, like I said. And I have actually talked about intergenerational conversations going on with my own thing that I want to do when I retire, and with all blessed. So I was thinking that what you need to do is to really have that structure thought out, not just the neonatal side of looking after the babies from 0 to 9 months, but also moving on. And I think Dr. Masago was mentioning about the infrastructure of like you, I suddenly lost my trail of thoughts. We're talking about moving on from the 9 months and also the nurturing thereafter as well. So I've always been talking about structure and also what we need to do with the 3 M's. Marketing, marketing, marketing. You got to market to the doctors. You got to market to volunteers. You got to market to the pharmaceuticals, and also put in structures, programs. Imagine you fostering or adopting the babies. Wouldn't it be a great home for new parents or new moms, pregnant moms, who are so anxious and with all that anguish to learn about how to look after the baby? They can be your volunteers. They would definitely be, that place would be a safe place for them to learn, not just from the nurses or going through labor and thereafter. See with ONG, they stop at birth, but you're talking about beyond. So I think that it's a beautiful thing, and giving a chance to orphans is definitely a must. Like I said, it's a blessing, God's creation, and we have to help them no matter what, whether or not they are blessed with family or otherwise. So I definitely is on board for you if you want to have conversations with regards to the structures and the programs that you want to have with the intergenerational programs, not just for the babies, but also for the pregnant moms, with those who have had experience. I keep telling ladies with who has come crying and saying, I lost my baby. I say, hey, you're still young, go ahead, try again. And the best time was saying it's the first month where the womb is still fresh. And that's the best time to have to start another birth process of birth, that is. Thank you. Like I said, I'm on board. You have my vote.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you very
Beautiful.
much.
Thank you.
Another connection made there. Where to go, Tina? Once again, always beautiful words.
Thank you.
Keep that heart up, girl. Don't you wear your heart on your sleeve? I want to keep seeing it. So, all right, Mary, we got, listen, before I call, it's a little after 10:30. We have 4 hands up now. Thank God Richard raised his hand because he likes coming in at the last second. So if you want to speak up or say something, guys, get your hands up. I'll get everyone through. But we have 4 now. If we get through those 4, we might even end early tonight. Who knows? All right, Miriam, unmute yourself, please.
Hi, Janice. I just want to turn around and say what you're doing is wonderful. Excuse me, my voice is raspy. But I just think that this is amazing what you're getting ready to do and you're embarking on. I was thinking about the help that you're going to have. Maybe one of them could be a doctor that could come in, check the babies, give them their shots when they need it. I'm just like throwing these ideas around in my head. But I just want to say that I think this is really wonderful. I have friends that they couldn't have kids, so they adopted, and they adopted kids at different ages. Okay. And so what they were already grown almost. So what happened is now they have 32 grandkids because they had 8 kids that they adopted, and now they have 32 grandkids. So what you're doing is really wonderful. You're going to have all these kids. They're going to grow up and they're going to get married and they're going to have and you're going to have grandkids. So
That's the idea.
so God bless you, and I want to be part of this. So
thank you.
I want to be part of this.
Definitely. And yes, doctors and already have all that on my list. They come in, check them, well care. Yeah, definitely.
Got it.
Very good. Thank you, Miriam. Once
Sure.
again. See, you got, Denise, you got some excitement going here.
Yes.
Stuff, I'm telling you. All right, let's bring in, thanks again, Miriam. Let's bring in the one and only Brucey Gerstein. Go on, Bruce, unmute yourself. What you got, buddy?
Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you so much, Janice. You have a heart of gold. And I have some things to ask you and some things that are in my mind. Is that okay with you?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, first of all, you come from Jamaica.
Yeah.
And you know Jamaica has many, 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 many kids just on the street. So were you thinking of going back to Jamaica to help them there, or where you live now in the States?
Well, as I said earlier, I want it to be worldwide. So start with one and have it running properly and good and just duplicate it everywhere, worldwide if possible. But most, I want to start in the less fortunate countries.
Okay.
And keep going.
That makes sense. Makes absolute sense. Now, one of the things that's important for anybody, every one of these projects, remember, we haven't launched yet. So all of these things are things in planning stages.
Right.
And it will take time, just like ONPASSIVE took 4 years to get to where it is. It will take time for everyone to develop their projects. It's not just the money, it's the people, it's the ingenuity, it's the creativeness. And I was writing in the chat before, one of the things that's important is the mindset, to move away from a word like adoption. So I look at some words that were synonyms for adoption, words like support and encouragement. And there are other words. There was approval, there's endorsement, there's all kinds of words, confirmation, things that confirm people and acknowledge them for who they are. Children need acknowledgement a lot, as you know. And all children, all God's children, no matter what age, need hugs. Every one of us, every one of God's children needs to have care, need to know that they are cared for. So one of the things that's important for you as a developer of this is to be clear on the mission, to have a mission statement. Have you got that written down already?
The mission statement?
Yes.
Yes. I don't have it right here with me, but, and I'm still critiquing it, so.
You don't have to critique it. What you have in your heart will be
but
fine.
one of the things is I don't want to use words like abandon, you know, so have it worded where it's pleasing.
Okay. One of the things that I love those is rather than use any kind of words that sounds like an institution, call it like a house of joy or miracle house, or something that has nothing to do with adoption.
I agree.
It has to do. And the other thing that's very important is that what the children need, they need to have joy, laughter, and play. So it's very important to always have those things involved, especially with children, because they want to know they can play. They want to know they have the freedom to do those things. And they want to know how to give back, not just to take, but how to give back what they lack. So this is about this. All of us is about uplifting humanity. So what we want to do is uplift these children from where they are, because most of them are abandoned or feel unwanted. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Yes.
The most important thing is to let them know no matter what, they are loved.
Right. We need to change the.
No matter what, they are beautiful. No. So anyway, I want to acknowledge you being a great human being and a great heart. And I know that there are so many people here who want to help. And all you have to do is reach out and you will get the help you need. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. She's got Richard on her brain. See, I knew I said his name. Bruce, wonderful words. You're one of those guys that probably would be a very nice guy to come in and give those babies wiggles and hugs. And
I love babies. I love babies.
And some wisdom.
He definitely has wisdom in him. All right, Brucey. Hey, if you don't know, I've been advertising Bruce Gerstein and Gene Olivia's YouTube on our Speedy Lives. Make sure you check out their YouTubes also and like and subscribe, and you can probably hear some more videos from Bruce. Thank you again, Mr. Bruce. All right, Dr. Benny is back. Come on, Dr. Benny.
Thank you, Brother Chris. Sister Janice?
Yes, Dad.
Please, this time it's not a question.
Yeah.
All right. First, I want to say I'm impressed with you, with your talks. I wrote a note to you, but I know you didn't see it. Now, based upon your workers, I'm not a nurse, but I work in a group home, nursing home. I give medication as well. I have tons of degrees, which I don't need to name those degrees, but I am a counselor as well. So what I wrote is that I am going to supervise all those workers. I want to make sure that they feed those children, dress them, make sure that they give them, clean them very well. I will watch. Do not worry. I am going to work with you.
Oh, I would love that.
Don't worry.
I'll be watching too.
I am a mom.
Yep.
I will make sure that they have to teach those children, because sometimes you don't really, you notice what some of these daycares they're doing, they maltreat these kids. Don't worry, I am going to watch. Thank you. That's all I want to tell you. I will be with you. I will deal with them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Benny.
You're reading my mind.
Yeah, she's definitely she's a force not to be reckoned with. So if those kids get out of hand, you better watch it. Dr. Benny gonna come at him. Good for you, Dr. Benny. Thank you for saying that. All right, And we have Richard Lemuth because he normally jumps in as I say no more hands, but since he was courteous enough to raise his hand, go ahead, Richard.
All right.
Hi, I love all you beautiful men, women, and children of the world from the bottom of my heart. Janice, comment ça va, ma belle?
Bien. I always mix French and Spanish. I don't know it too well. That's okay.
Anyway, I love your dream.
Thank you.
Now, ONPASSIVE is going to bring the apples, which means when you have apples, you have power.
Amen.
So hopefully, with that power, we can change those idiots' heads that are preventing these things from happening. There is no reason whatsoever that those children should be left in hospitals. None.
Yeah.
None. My uncle, well, never mind my uncle. My uncle only had 12. There's a man, Mr. Sikor. He had 21 children. The boys were in one room, the girls were in the other room, and the parents were in the third room. That was the old days. Now, oh, it's a crime to do that now. That is why there's so many children left behind. Because they judge you according to your income. They judge you according to your home. It's not right. We will become powerful. And when we become powerful, hopefully we can change those heads that are preventing us from doing good in this world. ONPASSIVE was built to heal this world. We all have this heart from God full of love, and ONPASSIVE is giving it back to the world. That love is coming back. And we will take care of those babies, and we will also take care of the little ones, even if they're 14, 15 years old. They should not be left behind. All children deserve one thing, to be loved. God said, take care of my children. Well, ONPASSIVE and all the people here will do that because we will have the power to do it. And Oh Bless is another thing that's going to become so powerful because we're going to have millions of people going into Oh Bless. So I'm just getting carried away. I get riled up. I'm sorry about that, but I get very riled up when I hear things like that. Notice I go off a lot. I don't want people to see me cry. So I love you all. Big kiss and big hug to all of you. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Richard. Good words.
Thank you, Richard. And I've seen you cry before. It's actually quite nice. So just because you're a man don't mean you don't cry, brother. I think true men really do cry. And I'll be honest, I know a lot of women that love men that cry. So keep that up. Nothing wrong with it. It's a good release from your body. So Miss Nadu Lawson, here's the last hand tonight, guys. We could get done early tonight, but if someone else has something else to say or wants to add, please, by all means, raise your hand. Miss Nadu, can you please unmute yourself?
Thank you very much, Chris. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I want to salute our leader, Janice. I lived through what you want to do. My grandma has 9 kids, and my mom said it's too much to carry on. So she will not have even 8, and she ended up having 5, but she adopted more than 15. My dad was so surprised. Why you don't want to have the kid? And then you adopted so much. And some stuff that she went through, I would like to share more with you privately.
Sure.
The kids that she has love for came from different DNA. So the character doesn't match. So she had to research why this child is behaving like this. how can I face it? And she will find out that in this family, it was like this. They were aggressive, or they were this, they were so slow. So there's so many things about behavior coming into adopting kids. And another one, still from the behavior, is like security. Your own security is a challenge. You love them, you put things out for them, but they will not recognize it. And what your own child will not tell you, what your own birth child will not take from you, they will do it. And you will be sometimes disappointed. And that is not coming from them. They are not doing it on purpose. It's because you don't know them. So the challenge of having a lot of kids under your umbrella is not easy. That's why I say I salute you for going to this. And we will be here to help you achieve your goal. Thank you very much for stepping in for those kids. That's all I want to say, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadu. Always wonderful words. You guys always got good things to say. You know that?
Yeah.
No matter who's out here, you guys always got something really nice to say. All right, we got another hand. My brother, and I want to say this before I call him out. He could probably tell you about one. I think he was a founder. He had passed away very suddenly this past week, and he left behind an autistic child, I believe. So, Jake, my condolences to you and your friend. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, that's the one thing where I wish we were already launched, because we could just dive into it and help take care of this child. This child's going to need help for the rest of his life. But Janice, I applaud what you are doing. This is the direction that we need to go. And I've got a strong feeling that a lot of founders are going to be involved, because we're the ones with the heart. Okay. Feline and I can probably help with the sustainable building. And there's Jeffrey Morlock brought up We World Energy. And they have the generator, the magnetron that runs by itself that can probably produce power, and also water. So self-sustained communities. And let's not stop there. I mean, if you see what some of the kids are watching, there's a lot of garbage content out there on, I don't want to name any names, TikTok and things like that. I mean, we could give the children great education through Academy, you know, that doesn't have the garbage. I mean, we could have, these children will end up being the smartest children in the world if they are under our umbrella, you know, the Janice House, the Janice House of Love.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Because they will feel nurtured, and then on top of that, they will nurture other people. You know, I mean, I grew up, my grandfather built he helped build the Panama Canal. And I could sit down and listen to him all day long. And my next door neighbor was a National Geographic photographer after World War II. I could sit down and listen to his stories all day long. So, I mean, the elderly, I mean, matter. Their experiences matter. Their stories matter. I mean, I love what you're putting together, Janice. I applaud you for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to do this.
I don't think they'll have too much
Very
time
welcome.
for
and
you know, those things like TikTok and, you know, garbage, really.
No, it's garbage. It's garbage content. So we shouldn't expose these children to that. I mean, all it's doing is turning their brains into mush. I mean, I tell my grandchildren all the time, I said, what are you doing to learn. What have you learned today? I mean, my 8-year-old grandson, I put a violin in his hand and I started to teach him how to play it. You just have to have people like you with the heart. And I think that's why what makes Unpassivians so special is we're the ones with the heart. We're in it for the heart. Yes, the apples will fall where they may, but it's what do you do with those apples? Okay, we do things like what you plan on doing to uplift the world, because it starts with the kids, and these kids are going to save the world. I'm telling you, they will. God bless you. I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, Jake.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jake.
You're very welcome.
Condolences to your friend.
Yeah. And I look forward to your help with some of those sustainability.
Thank you, Chris.
He's a real good guy, Janice. He's a really good guy.
Oh,
big heart.
Lean and I can't wait to get to work.
Thank you.
Get the connections there with Jake.
Can't wait to get to work.
Listen, it is gonna be a lot of work. All these blessed projects, and to all the people that are watching on YouTube right now that are not founders, that are new.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna understand this. What we're doing is we're talking about things that we want to do when we launch to the world, when Unpassive actually launches to the world. We've started this. I'm not sure how long we've been doing this now, but we've had quite a few people come on and tell us what they want to do, how they want to help fix things from the oceans to the kids to homelessness. I mean, we've had a lot of things, and I give you guys all a lot of credit. So anyone out there that's listening to this is something that Unpassive is going to be really big on. We're trying to, number one goal is to get rid of homelessness. Make sure kids have clean water, shoes on their feet. Make sure no one's living in the street, man, unless they want to. I get there's some people out there that want to. My dog's about ready to go live on the street if she don't stop barking. And I thought of another thing. I want to make this fun also. So in the next few weeks, I know we have a lot of animal lovers. All right. And I know, listen, there's some people out there who treat their animals just like their children. I have my daughter's dog. I love that dog. She drives me crazy once in a while, but I absolutely love her. But I'm thinking in the next couple of weeks, I have some shows scheduled. And I know Michael wants to talk about his freeway. We got to get him on there for it. But I'd like to see everyone come out with their pets, their dogs, their cats. I don't care if you got gerbils, hamsters, because to me, pets are pretty amazing animals. I mean, they bring dogs, they bring animals in the hospitals now for senior citizens that are sick or for kids who are fighting bad diseases, and it comforts them, it calms them. So I'm one of those big people on, I always want to take care of humans first and kids, but those animals, they do a lot for us. We just don't always know it. So, and you better believe that Janice better have a couple of big old German Shepherds around protecting those babies.
And collies. I love collies too. Come on. And collies.
But let me thank everyone here first. I'm going to thank you last, Janice. I want to thank the people that helped out. The John Barillo who ran the what do we call you now? I know you've been like brought way up there now. You're at the chief level now, I think, right, John? Are you the chief detective or the chief? What are you now? What's your label? He's trying.
There we go. You know what? I'm not sure what my label is because I've been upgraded by certain people. Yes. Then I'm back to the other name by other people. But you know what? I'm more of the chat commissioner because I'm starting to get some folks to volunteer, and they are in the YouTube chats constantly, and they are actually keeping an eye out so that if I don't see something, I don't have to be everywhere all the time. And that's kind of like my goal in getting a little more organized with what we do with the chat police, if we want to call it that. But I consider myself the commissioner of the chat and I have policemen and chat guardians under me that are going to help.
Commissioner, can you call some of those names out, Mr. Commissioner, that was protecting all our YouTubes from the crazy people of the world, Mr. Commissioner? What's their names? Call them out.
M. Kaylee is one. Casey's another one. I can't say his last name unless I'm reading it off the top of my head. Dave, who's here tonight. Dave is a helper of mine now, and Listra. Also a helper. I don't know if she was on tonight, but and there's a few more that I'm trying to actually communicate with to let them know that you're on the team because you're there all the time anyway. So, you know, that's where it's at so far. But there's several people that are helping out now. That's a good thing.
Well, John, we appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone that helps out through the chats, because I remember when I first got in, there was a lot of things that were said and people didn't know how to handle it. You have took that role very seriously, and I commend you, my brother, for doing a great job. And also, I'm going to say you have a following. You're the commissioner, man. You're the man, and they're following in your footsteps. So that's a good thing. But I appreciate you, John. Thank you. Okay, let's see who else here. I want to thank the co-hosts today. We got some new ones. Bruce Gerstein, John Barilla, Julie Wen, Lynn Nakamoto, Marie Pendy, Nadu Lawson, and thank you for helping out. I'm going to try to do that every week, get different people in there. And in time, I'd actually like to show you how some of the things we do real quick, a real simple thing. If you've never been a co-host and you're co-host today, let's use John Barilla because he's the commissioner. You go to him right on his camera right now. And if you put your little hand on his picture, it'll say ask to unmute when you're co-host now, and you click those 3 buttons. It'll say rename, make host, spotlight for everyone, pin chat. But if, let's say, John doesn't realize he's unmuted, you can actually go right to his little picture there and just click on mute. That's a big part of the co-host. Sometimes we get people that come in here that are not welcome, and they start saying some pretty bad stuff. That's when the co-hosts come in. It's a very important part. You can ask Lynn Nakamoto. We've had a few where people just came in and just wanted to say some pretty dumb stuff, and we immediately mute them, and you can kick them out, all from right there, from that little picture. So just to give you a quick example, but I appreciate y'all. I also want to thank Marty for opening, and actually it was Julie that opened today. Julie went for opening. Marty for coming on and saying his words of wisdom. Who did I forget? And of course, I want to thank the special guest, Janice Brown, who you did a great job. Okay, get him, co-host. Mute that man. Mute that man. There you go. All right. That's how we do it.
Oh, Marty, Chris, also Yin Yang he's been a lot in the YouTubes and helping a lot. So I wanted to mention his name too. I should have been prepared. I wish I would have known you were going to ask me to mention some names because I'm not remembering everybody, but we'll get them all at some point. We'll thank everybody another time.
You're saving me talk time. So from now on, John, I would like a list for you to thank people if they're doing a good job. If you're the commissioner, you got to do what you got to do. But I'll stick Dr. Benny on them if they're bad. How's that one? Because Dr. Benny, man, she's the queen, and the queen knows and she goes. So, but look at it this way, guys. What we're doing now is like a test run. You guys have brought, Lily Lane, I love your smile. You're so pretty. You guys have brought so many great things to this So Blessed. And I'm looking at my number. People said, oh, you didn't get many people today. I don't care. The important people are here. I don't care if I get 1,000. I don't care if I get 10. Those people want to get involved. I told you this since the beginning. The number will slowly go down. All right. And the people that are here, I know, are the real angels. And that's okay. Some people don't want the responsibility to fix the world. I love that concept. Who doesn't want to fix the world? Who doesn't want to go down in history knowing that you helped fix the world? I think it's pretty cool. So, but Janice Brown, I want to commend you from the bottom of my heart. I'm taking Richard's lane there. I think you are awesome. I think you are beautiful. your heart, like I said, like Tina Go, you wear your heart on everything. I don't see a human being. I see a big heart. All right. And my prayers are always going to be with you. Every Oblast project that we've shown are done. I promise you I'll be part of one way or the other. All right. Whether I'm bringing people there, helping you get supplies, helping you get whatever you need, I promise I will be there for anything that we've ever done and anything that comes the way in Oblast. Because there's a lot that's going to come our way. Just remember that, though. What you're doing now is pretty darn nice. You're telling the world through YouTube that we care and we just want to do something different. And you know what? I think the rules will change when they see what ONPASSIVE and Oblast is really going to do. All right. We have a lot of great things in ONPASSIVE, but Oblast to me is the most important because it shows really where this company is about. Big heart. And I was really blown away the first time Ash ever said Oblast. I'm like, wow, hold it. Change my attitude, change my perspective. I seen people's eyes bulge out like, wow, I want a part of this. So pretty cool. And I want to say thank you to every one of you. Don't forget tonight at 12 midnight, Lynn and Rob are doing their what do they call it? Nightly Live, I think it is, Lynn. Been pretty cool. I've been watching.
Late night chat.
Yep.
Late
And I
night
think,
chat.
aren't you doing trivia on Marty DeGarmo tonight?
We should. Think
Yeah.
of something. Let me know if you think of a good question, Chris.
Oh, I thought you were doing Marty DeGarmo trivia tonight.
We did it the other night. We could do it again.
Okay, I missed it again. All right. Why don't you do John Barilla? There's a good one.
Should we?
Yeah, I think you should. I think it'd be fun. The commissioner. But don't forget, guys, that's in the back office also. Lynn's got to post it everywhere. That's at midnight, her and her husband. It's a really cool new thing. She's getting a lot of people to go. Tomorrow noon, we're doing the 360. I passed the 360, myself and Red. I don't know that Ash is that. Usually when Ash comes on, it's 2. And man, I can wake up tomorrow and it's a whole new world. That's pretty much how it is every day for me. When I wake up, Marty or Red will give me a call, say, okay, we're doing this. But remember to get into your back office and play around with O Network. Actually, Janice, if you haven't gone to your background or to your O Network, why don't you go in there and make a post? And I'll ask all these wonderful people on here to go check out Janice Brown, get her correct spelling, go to her O Network and tell her how much you love her and how much you're going to support her. And let's just do this. That's how we got to do that and start doing that every day. Okay. Trying to get more people's attention to O Network, not through me. I want you to go to Dr. Benny and say, you're hired. I want you to go to Lily Lane. You have a beautiful smile. Don't stop smiling. Go to Engineer Mike. He's got his hand up. Mike, what you got?
Don't forget to remind people, Canada Meet and Greet, September 10th, coming up. Please.
Okay. Michael, I want you to remind me every Tuesday until that comes up. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Big meet and greet for Michael and Ken. I think this is this the first or second? We had a bunch of little.
First, it has never happened.
Yeah, well, we had little meet and greets, right? This is the first
big one.
Yeah, this is gonna be the big one. So don't forget that. A lot of things going, a lot of shows, guys. But please check your back office under webinars. 99% of it. We have a new system. So if you notice a lot of the pictures, I still can't get a picture in there. I do try to post. It's a different system. I'm still trying to learn it, and I'm having a hard time with pictures. So be patient with me. And we can hyperlink now. And what I see, it doesn't look like we did it. Just click on the link. It should automatically take you to that Zoom or whatever you're going to see. It's all new, man. Every day is new. Oh, hold on. I got another text from somebody, but there's another thing going on. There's also, yes, I know Pam Turner had a couple picnics, and Michael, all the Canadians are saying, no, wait a minute. We did this in Canada. That's okay. As long as you guys are doing something, but just keep smiling, be nice to each other, get involved with people that you want to get involved with. Like Janice Brown had talked about something really cool tonight. If you're an individual that really feels and loves what she's saying, or you want to be part of it, by all means, please email her. Send me a message if you didn't get it. I will connect you to Janice. I have her email. Janice, I don't think you have a Facebook, do you?
I don't use Facebook,
Okay,
but I
that's
think
all-
I probably do have one. I just haven't gone on there and
No, you have own network now, baby.
yeah,
Woo!
and I'm already there. I've been posting.
All right, so make sure you go to Janice Brown. Janice Brown, make sure you get to her network, make a comment, tell her how much you love her. And I want to thank you. Oh, it's after. My God, I'm keeping the show going too long here. But if I missed anybody, I don't think I did. Brucey, I got you, right? Daryl Cook, thank you very much. He's going to write us some notes. Appreciate you. I think I got everybody. Oh, man, how did I forget this guy? Ash Mafara, his wonderful wife and his wonderful family, his 2 children. We always thank you for doing what you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing. I see Julie Wen. Julie Wen, you have anything you want to say that I forgot? I never know.
Wonderful job. No, everyone just know that what's ahead of us is amazing. Stay focused. That's all, Chris.
Wow. I'm going to write that one down.
Stay focused.
Yeah. She's
It's
right,
a
guys.
beautiful journey ahead of us. Stay
Yeah.
focused.
Enjoy the journey. If you get sick, I'm always going to pray for you. I get so many requests for prayers. I do pray for you every day. Sometimes I don't always remember to say them on my lives, but know this, that you're all on my heart. And I really do try to keep prayer. Pray, man. Pray. There's a lot of power in prayer. I believe the good Lord is definitely with ONPASSIVE. And I think that's why it's really going to be so successful. God has found some angels, and he's going to show them to the world pretty soon here through ONPASSIVE. All right. Anything, Lynn Nakamoto, did I forget anything? Is there anything else I missed?
For tomorrow?
No, tonight you and Rob.
Oh, just tonight? Okay, no, I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah, and then we have 360. We have Julie and Susie Wednesday, right? Are you guys doing that Wednesday?
Yes,
Julie
we
and
are.
Susie. And
And
then
we have Insights with Lynn and Comfort at 4 p.m.
4.
Eastern.
Right.
And we're going to feature Elizabeth Bade from PNG.
Cool.
And we have O Winners, that's at 9 p.m.
All right, you guys make sure you check your back office tomorrow. I'm sure you'll hear us say it on the lives also, or 360. We don't really talk too much about webinars, but you just heard Lynn, check your back office. Quite a few things going on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Not sure if Ash is coming on. I don't want him to come on. I want him to keep working, darn it. Sorry, I know you guys do, but I like when he keeps working. Keep that man busy. That's what I say. All right.
Chris, may I say something really quick?
Go ahead.
Sorry. I actually got off the phone with a very important person, and the very important person have said something that really, really, really important for all of us is remember ONPASSIVE is automation, right? Automation, that's all we need to know, right? Automation. And you don't need to know any more if you understand automation. Automation in what? Automations in sale, automations in technology. It's all created, right? So it was brought up, and it's really hit me because I knew it was automation, but the way how it was said, it was just as awesome. So automation in Oblast as well. It's automation. That's all, Chris.
Great. I'm automatically going to shut this off, but I want you automatically to unmute yourself and say goodbye.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Julie.
Good night, everyone.
Bruce Kirstein held down all of the chat. Bruce Kirstein held the chat also.
Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're from.
Good night.
See you again. See ya.
Good night, everyone.
Love you guys. God bless you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, my brother Chris.
Good night, Roy.
William.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Sister
Chris.
Good night,
Cynthia.
Sister Julie.
Hey,
Good night,
Sister
everyone.
Janice
done?
Good
Brown.
night,
You
Tina.
know what I haven't
Good
done in
night.
a long
My
time?
sister, Dr.
Night.
Jenny.
Good
You want to
night,
know what I haven't
Julie.
done, you guys?
Bye now.
Good
We'll
night.
see
Good
you
night.
later.
Everyone go.
Night,
Come
everybody.
on,
Thank you
get him
very
out of here.
much.
Hey,
God
hey,
bless.
hey,
There you go.
everybody.
Get
Goodbye,
out of here.
everybody.
Snorting.
All right.
Good
Come on,
job,
everyone.
Janice.
Give me a big
Crazy
Great
Chris.
one.
Get it
Thank
out
you,
of here.
Janice. That
Get
was
that out of here. Come
awesome.
on.
Thank
Thank you all
you.
for coming.
Thanks,
Awesome,
Janice.
Have a good
good.
night's
Thank
sleep.
you.
Beautiful.
To my
Thank you.
queens and kings.
All right, you guys, we'll see you next week,
Thanks.
Tuesday, same time, same place. Remember, get those dogs ready. I want to see animals in the next couple weeks on camera. All right, I love every one of you.
That's it.
Peace
That
out.
was
Bye, Chris.
good luck.
Good
Bye.
night, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
You're
Good
welcome.
night.
Bye.
Good
Goodbye.
night,
Turn it
Christina.
off.